Hello, fifth graders. Welcome back to art. Here we are. And I forgot to do this last week, so I can't forget to do it today. Don't forget that we want to start off every art class really feeling positive and getting ourselves into the mind frame. And that can come with just the words that we tell each other. So let's do it. I'm going to do it by myself, but I'm counting on you to be doing it with me. I am an artist. I am a creator of ideas and a solver of problems. Sometimes the problems are on my paper. Sometimes they're with my neighbor, or my brother, or my sister, or my cat. Sometimes they're inside of myself. But I know I can solve problems because mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. And I am proud to be an artist. Did you do it with me? Come on, you guys. We gotta say those positive things to ourselves so that our mind starts to believe them. I want to start today with just a quick reminder of art last year. So if you are new to Endeavor this year, this is all new to you. But if you were in the fourth grade at Endeavor, these are going to look pretty familiar to you. So we started off the year working on our adjectives. We had some of us stuck our names in there, curvy lines. That was a multimedia project. We used pencils, colored pencils, oil pastels, marker. We used it all, actually. Those were really fun. You spent a lot of time on those and you worked really, really hard, and it showed. And then we moved into this project, the black and white project, and it kind of had two parts to it. The first part meaning we took random things, little geometric shapes. We took like lids, we took cups and bowls and a ruler, and we created optical illusions, which were just really cool patterns with black and white. And they didn't become optical illusions until we started to play around with how they were colored in or not colored in. We had thick lines, thin lines. Anyway, it started to trick the eye, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But then I made copies of some of the early finishers, and some of you had the time to actually use the copies, kind of like you can see here, there's a ton of them, and you just had to share them, and you could cut them and glue them and create a collage to make a second project. And some of you put your own drawings in there also, and some people just created something of our friend's art. And then this was the mini project. So what we're seeing here are actually 6 put together. So this was in the hall, right as we had to stop coming to school. But it was amazing. It was massive. Hopefully you've seen pictures of that. If not, I'll put that in my mind to share those because I took a ton of pictures before it all came down. And then just at the end, right there, at the end of February, beginning of March, we were working on this project, and some of you finished, some of you didn't. There was kind of like a name puzzle. So you wrote your name or your initials in a big black marker, and then we used those temper cakes to paint. We just used the primary colors. So we were working on color mixing with secondaries and intermediate colors, tertiary colors. And then when it dried, we cut them up into smaller squares and then reassembled them to create, kind of a puzzle. But they were looking really cool. So probably about half of you finished those just as we said. We're going to take a couple weeks off of school. We'll see you after spring break. Well, here we are now. You know what happened next. All right. So I figured a good place for us to work on a project right now would be to take some of our knowledge from last year and then use it as a foundation to move forward. So here is good old Victor Vasarely. He was the Hungarian artist that we talked about last year. He loved to work in black and white. His overlapping of shapes and lines and patterns is what kind of created those optical illusions. Looked like it was tricking our eye. So I touch about that term op art, which just means optical, meaning your eye, and how you can play with your placement of objects and colors and patterns and trick other people's eyes. So here are some other examples. These should look familiar to you. I showed you these last year if you were there. So really what we're working on is the difference between what our eye sees and what our brain is thinking it sees. So our eye tells our brain, but sometimes there's kind of that misconnection, and they're not quite on the same page. But that's the fun of it as an artist, when we can kind of manipulate what people are seeing or thinking. It's fun. So here's the plan for today. This time you're going to use a piece of notebook paper. So a lot of you are sharing your art with me, and you're using whatever you might have around you. And so you're grabbing just like a piece of paper, recycled paper. I think I'm kind of the rare person who has a bunch of drawing paper at home. Again, we didn't expect to still be home months and months ago when I said goodbye to you last. And so we don't have any drawing paper maybe at home, or even copy white paper, But today, if you can grab a piece of notebook paper that can come from even like, oh gosh, I have one right here. Like I have one of these spiral notebooks that I always write notes on. So you could do it on something like that, as long as it's got the lines on it, or you can just use a piece of paper, maybe out of a binder that you might have. So we want the lines. So there's two things you're going to do today. So the first one's kind of a warm-up, and it includes kind of like a ribbon or a piece of string. So it looks like, again, optical illusion, it looks like it's going over under. So it looks like it's woven under the actual lines of the paper, which we know is not true because it's a piece of paper. So the steps are right here. You can see them. The steps are kind of in red. So you don't have to grab a piece of like a red pencil. That's not what it's showing. It's trying to show you that the new step, every time there's a new step, the artist, the teacher in this used a red colored pencil. But then you'll notice in step 2 that the red goes away and all of a sudden it's gray again. That's because they're just using a pencil the whole time to show you. Does that make sense? The red is the new thing. The pencil is what it's going to look like. Now, some of you just like to follow directions of like a picture, so I have those right here. If you want to watch the video of this whole thing, you're going to progress through these slides and then get to this slide. It is slide number 6, and you can hit the play button. So this will actually be an active link instead of just watching this video. So it'll be slide 6, has the directions for the picture, so that you can look at those, or the video, you can actually hit play on the video. And then the next thing, when you finish the optical illusion ribbon, this one I think is going to be really fun because this will allow you to have some choice. Oh no, my face is over the top of that alien. All right, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Maybe I can move my face. We'll see. So again, same piece of notebook paper. Maybe you have the ribbon thing up at the top, and maybe you have space at the bottom or next to. That's okay, whatever you choose. So this time, pick something that you want to draw. It could be something like an animal. I love the way this cat looks like it's actually hanging on. Reminds me of my cat. It does that kind of silly stuff all the time. This is kind of a cool one, the octopus, in the way, especially that the tentacles, that the arms on it. Where's my arm? Where is it? There it goes. Gets to kind of reach around and grab. That looks pretty cool. This little cartoon guy is funny. Again, really interacting with those lines as if he's kind of peeking through bars or mini blinds or something like that. If you can't think of an image, then by all means, maybe use your name, or maybe use another word. So this love one is really cool. It's an every other somewhat. It looks like the top, I see part of the L with the line instead of having it disappear. So the tops of the letters, it's not following the rule of an every other, but after that, then we go into an AB pattern, or every other. You'll see it kind of disappears, reappears, disappears, reappears. Definitely want to use a pencil, I betcha. I just know myself, and I'm sure it accidentally slid through there, and then if I was using a pen, I could not erase it. So a pencil would be best. Let me see if I can move myself. Oh, there we go. Well, that was fun. Okay. Over here, if you have time and you happen to have something at home, colored pencils, colored markers, this would be fun too. So again, it's that every other. There's drawing, no drawing, drawing, no drawing, drawing, no drawing. You get the picture. You don't need me to say that. But then I love this part. It's kind of like in the little guy's fingers too, or the tentacles here, where there's some interaction, the cat's arm, that makes it really show that optical illusion because it's now you see the some things in front, some things behind, and they're playing with that a little bit. So super cool. And if this is an option, so some of you are doing this already, and I love it every time that my email goes ding. If you want to, whoa, I'm in the way. If you want to email me pictures of your drawings as you're working on them, please do. kdanielson@5schools.com. I think we all have those 5schools.com ends of our email addresses, but mine would be Kendra, not really Kendra, but kdanielson at 5schools.com. So you can email me pictures. I'm thinking either next week or the week after, we'll do part of our lesson plan will be how to use your Chromebook to take a picture of your art. Some people are just grabbing, a phone if they have it, and some of you already know how to use the Chromebook camera to take photos, which is awesome. But I should probably teach everybody. You're doing awesome, you guys. I'm going to try to maybe even sneak into some Zooms this week. Well, I'll tell your teacher I'm coming. I'm not going to Zoom bomb. But I am in the Zooms with second graders in the mornings, and then that 12:30 one. And then at 3 o'clock is when I'm supposed to be doing my office hours, which sounds very fancy. But sometimes if I've already caught up on my emails with families or with you or whoever needs to talk to me, sometimes I can use that time and maybe come into your 3 o'clock Zooms, but I'll check with your teachers. I don't want to get in trouble. Alrighty, so should be fun. Click through these slides. You're gonna see the same things I just showed you, but especially on that one slide where you have the example or the video, you'll want to interact with that. All right, missed you guys. I hope you're well. Take care. Now I never remember how to stop this video. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just gonna keep talking. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe this? Do I stop it up here? Boy, did I even remember to record? Wouldn't that be a tragedy?